Alright, folks. So I actually had a different video in place tonight to release. It was called What is an Xbox? And if you still want that video to be released, let me know in the comment section below. But, you know, I thought this one definitely had a lot more precedence. This is breaking news. I've only just woken up about 10 minutes ago to probably the weirdest situation that we've experienced in all generations. Windows Central is reporting breaking news that Microsoft raises the prices of all Xbox Series X and S consoles in the United States due to tariffs and macroeconomic challenges. I mean, you can only use this excuse once, now it's twice. Essentially, right now, everyone that's calling the PS5 Pro a scam should be calling the 2 terabyte Xbox a scam because now that is actually more expensive than the PS5 Pro. Yes, you heard that right. It is actually more expensive and become the greatest scam of all time. In fact, just scrap the damn machines and go buy a PC. Right? But let's go into this article and see what it's all about because this is crazy. All right, Tyrus bites Xbox fans even harder. If you haven't bought an Xbox by now, just don't bother. As Microsoft again increases Xbox Series X and S prices in the US, here's how much more you'll pay. And honestly, like I said, if you haven't bought one by now, just wait till next generation or go buy a PS5. It's cheaper. The tariff situation in the United States is going from bad to worse as companies continue to pass on added costs to consumers. We're talking about a $3 trillion company here, right? This year, the United States government has issued a range of tariffs on different countries with the stated goal of bringing more manufacturing to the United States. In the short term, at the very least, a labor and education gap means that companies will still have to depend on countries like China, Vietnam, India, and other tariff impacted economies to manufacture the products. The Xbox Series X and S are no exception. Microsoft and other companies have already been forced to increase their prices on their products, particularly so if they're heavily dependent on China, whose patchwork on tariffs ranges from anywhere between 10% and 40% for various components and other aspects of the overall supply chain. Whether it's storage, chips, or even just circuitry, every aspect of an Xbox Series X and S console has been subjected to a variety of duties on what's inside the box, putting pressure on manufacturers to increase prices, diversify supply chains, or both in a lot of cases. Look, I get it. What Trump is doing with the tariffs is having a really negative effect on people. But this is a ridiculous situation where console prices are going up and up to the point where they're just no longer, you're paying $800 for a 30 FPS machine. All right, let me rephrase that. You're paying $800 for a 30 FPS machine that will have those games running at 60 FPS 2 years later. It's not acceptable. And Game Pass just isn't exactly, Game Pass is fantastic, but it's half the price on PC without the need for Xbox Live. So that lure right there just isn't as lucrative as it used to be. Because you can get it for half the price with all the games from EA and Xbox, Game Pass Ultimate available for you on PC. You get them, you get them for half the price. This is crazy. Okay, it's not exactly half the price, but you get the point. Microsoft has increased the cost of its Xbox Series X and S products in response to tariffs already once this year, and today they're increasing it again because they can use that excuse over and over and over again. Shared with us earlier today, Microsoft is increasing the recommended retail pricing for its Xbox Series consoles due to changes in macroeconomic environment. They're going to use this excuse forever until they hit that 1,000. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why they haven't announced the price of the Xbox Ally X ROG handheld device already, because it is going to be over $1,000, and they wanted this news to come out first to take the brunt of the news, to take the brunt of the damage. And when the Xbox ROG Ally X releases over 1,000, well, the brunt of the damage will have been done by these console price increases So it won't impact the handheld as much anymore because while you're getting a portable device that's an Xbox that can't play Xbox games, well, your console games that can only play your PC games. So yeah, I'll let you work out the math on that one. The new prices will kick in on October the 3rd, so if you were considering buying an Xbox in the near term, now would be a good time to pull the trigger. The problem is you can hardly find them anywhere. These price increases affect solely the United States, heavily implying tariffs are to blame here. Controllers and headsets won't see increases for now, but they will. They will, 100%. The time will come. The Series S now is just not even worth looking at, right? You're looking at almost $500 for a Series S. Anyone that buys this is a chump, right? Anyone that buys the Series S is a chump. That used to be a cheap, affordable machine at 250 to 300. You're now looking at almost half a grand for a machine that can barely do 60 FPS. Okay, the Xbox Series console digital has gone from 549 to $600. The disk drive edition to 649.99, and the 2 terabyte one now is over. It's basically $800, which is over the price of a PS5 Pro. Now, I'm not saying here that the PS5 isn't going to get a price increase. I'm saying as of right now, it doesn't have a price increase. So right now, the price of a 2 terabyte Xbox Series X is more expensive than a PS5 Pro. Let that sink in. I don't care if you say the PS5 Pro is a scam. This becomes an even bigger scam. Okay? That's it. That becomes an even bigger scam. A source at Microsoft offered the following comments. We are navigating an incredibly dynamic environment right now. We've assessed the changing macroeconomic environment and addressed the applicable impacts. Indeed, the tariff situation between the United States and China, where both Xbox consoles are manufactured, changes on a near monthly cadence, with different parts of the console subjected to different duties. The problem is, though, these prices are never going to go down. If those tariffs disappeared tomorrow, that $800 price is going to stay there forever. That price won't go down. It only goes up, but it doesn't go down. Maybe during a sale, but that retail price is here to stay. But there's no telling what the new ones could be put in place tomorrow. Trump is expected to meet Chinese Premier 11 in the near future, following a landmark deal to transfer TikTok US operations to American companies like Oracle. There's every chance a fall in tariffs could emerge there. China has also issued its own curbs on some American tech, such as Nvidia's AI chips. Microsoft support pages on the matter conceded that the changes are challenging, while emphasizing that they're ramping up access to Xbox content in other ways. So this is another way of basically Microsoft saying, "Yeah, we're going to increase the prices to try and push you onto, Game Pass Ultimate, so you can play through the cloud. How about you just offer a cloud-only tariff, you know, a subscription, so people can just buy on the cloud, so they don't need to go to the ultimate subscription. Just offer a cloud only subscription. So they, where they can buy and play the games they buy. Yeah, let them do that. Beginning on October the 3rd, we will update this recommended retailer pricing for Series S and X consoles in the United States due to changes in the macroeconomic environment. We understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consideration. But BS, right? No one believes that for a second. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and providing value for Xbox players. Essentially, they're increasing these prices, taking the opportunity to blame the tariffs. America is their biggest market anyway. They don't care about the rest of the world. That's the only market that actually sells the Xbox. So that's why that's the only one that's actually having the price increase. But what they're doing essentially here is trying to make the Xbox console so unsustainable and so unattractive that if you want to play an Xbox game and you don't have a PC, you don't have a PlayStation, the only alternative for you is to go cloud. And that is right now only available on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. There is no option for you to play xCloud without Ultimate. Of course, you always have the option of going GeForce Now as well. And honestly, people, that's probably a better option. Microsoft has been working hard to convince its publishing partners to ship games on Xbox PC, complete with Xbox Play Anywhere, although most AAA publishers don't seem interested for now. And that's a big problem for Microsoft when they say this is an Xbox, because if all the games that were coming out from AAA publishers were Play Anywhere, that statement would probably have a lot more relevance. Microsoft has also been launching many games directly into Xbox Cloud Gaming, even from third party developers, which could increasingly be an attractive option for gamers who get priced out by these hardware RRP prices. Exactly what I said. That is the goal. That is the aim. It's got nothing to do with macroeconomics. They're using this as a strong arm to push people into and funnel them into a certain pool. Microsoft is poised to increase the quality of Xbox Cloud gaming streams too, while it's also lowering the cost of cloud entry below the current $19.99 subscription via Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Well, no, they're not. I mean, they keep saying they're going to increase the quality of those blades. They've been saying that for years, and they still haven't done it. So I'll believe it when I see it. The tariff situation is clearly impacting Xbox Series X and S console hardware. It's also been cited to me as the sole reason Microsoft has yet to reveal the RRP price of the upcoming Xbox Ally PC gaming handheld. What did I say at the start of this video? This is the first time I'm reading this, by the way. What did I say at the start of the video? This is all being done to soften the blow of the handheld. Built in partnership with Taiwan-based Asus, and the Xbox Ally is most likely being manufactured in China as well, and thus it will be subjected to a variety of duties based on its components. The similar Lenovo Legion Go 2, also made in China, was revealed to run all the way up to 1350 in the United States, giving eager fans some serious sticker shock. I mean, I would have paid that much money for it. That's just not worth it. Many are expecting the Xbox Ally to be cheaper, owing to a less complex design, and Microsoft doing the heavy lifting on marketing. But the lack of an RRP reveal less than a month from launch isn't exactly encouraging. The first console generation where prices went up over time instead of down. As for the Xbox Series X and S, this is the first video game generation in history that has seen prices go up over time rather than down, with traditional core gaming already seeing heavy challenges from other forms of entertainment. And for you simps out there that are going to say, oh, but it's the inflation, oh, it's the troubling times, oh, folly, what are we going to do? My poor $1 trillion company. The history of gaming has had these devices go cheaper over time as components become cheaper. Don't give me that BS rubbish, okay? Simple mobile games and forever games that are compatible with older hardware, these prices increases are going to serve only to make the hobby even less attractive to newcomers. And we're already seeing the numbers in game, console hardware dwindling. They're 14% lower than where the last generation was previously. Let that sink in. In terms of hardware sales, they are 14% less than where they were before. Not 1 or 2%, we're talking almost 15%. Microsoft's push towards PC and PlayStation, hoping to find users where they already are, is offsetting some of the pressure. I'm also expecting Xbox Cloud Gaming to shed its beta tag this year and start ramping up on marketing too. Mate, if you think Xbox is going to do any marketing, get the hell out of here, man. Just quit your job. Microsoft don't do marketing, as it could become a viable alternative for many who simply can no longer justify the astronomical prices of native console hardware. I take that back. That This Is an Xbox campaign was actually pretty good, but that was the first thing they've done in probably 20 years that's actually been good for their marketing, which is why I stand by what I said. They suck at marketing. I think short of reducing tariffs and allowing trade to flow freely again, prices stand only to get worse rather than better. Any realistic scenario of Xbox consoles or any major console electronics, for that matter, being manufactured in the United States could be anywhere up to a decade away, probably more, owing to a lack of infrastructure and poor demographics, and the fact that people won't work for minimum wage. There would be need to be a large education campaign to boost manufacturing vocations and those that want to work in sweatshops, as well as efforts to subsidize companies willing to take a risk on homegrown manufacturing operations, which in itself, because they won't be working in sweatshops and working for pennies, and the fact that they're actually going to be working for a decent salary means that these console prices are about to double. Because guess what? Those prices that they're going to pay for the staff are actually going to get passed on to consumers. So if you thought $800 for a 2 terabyte special edition Xbox was crazy, how about 1500 for that? Yeah, let that sink in. There has been a lot of talk of investment in US manufacturing, but for it to produce any meaningful impact on prices would likely take years. I'd say maybe 2 decades, around 2 decades. Things are simply cheaper to manufacture overseas. And the reason for this is because all the Western countries kept on seeing the cheap labor over in the East and just threw all their manufacturing to the East without investing anything in their own. And now they've realized that they've given all the power to China. And China is sitting there going, yeah, boy, yeah, boy. Right? That's what China's doing because they're in the driving seat now. But who gave them that power? Europe gave them the power. The US gave them that power. The UK gave them the power because cheap labor, right? Things are simply cheaper to manufacture overseas, and that reality isn't likely to change anytime soon. I suspect things will only get worse before they get better. Is Xbox increasing prices of Xbox Series X consoles? Yes, as of October the 3rd. How much is the price increase? The Series X base model is going up by 50, and the Series S base model is going up by 20. Now, these are small increases, but the overall price tag is what's important. It's just not lucrative anymore. Are the Xbox prices going up outside of the United States? So far, no. Prices are going up specifically in the United States, but Microsoft previously raised the Series X and S price in other countries back in May 2025. So expect these prices globally to follow suit. That is my response to that. Why is Microsoft raising prices now? Microsoft blamed the challenging macroeconomic environment when in reality they just want to push people onto Xbox Game Pass Ultimate so you can play through the cloud so the subscription numbers can go up. That's it. All of this over here is summarizing that one statement that I've said. The rest is actually lies and bollocks. Why are Xbox prices going up but not phone prices, for example? Because they want you to jump onto Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and not onto the consoles. They want to increase their subscription numbers. And that's it. I mean, he won't say it, but that's the truth, right? That is the truth. They want you to increase. They want to increase the numbers for their thing. And even this right now, right? Did you know that if you go to your Windows update on your Asus ROG right now, if you're a Windows insider, you can download freely the Xbox new experience, the one that's exclusive to the Asus ROG Ally X2, the Xbox 2, whatever you want to call it, right? That you can download that to your Asus ROG right now and use it and get all the benefits of the new launcher. I'm not joking. It's already been done. It's all over Reddit. And it's not like any hack or anything like that. You just go and say, hey, in the options, I want the full Xbox full screen experience, and it downloads it for you and installs it, and you're done. It's really, really simple, and you get all the benefits of the new Xbox dashboard on your Asus ROG. So what makes this so special outside of the little controller handle things when the original devices can think? In fact, you're actually probably better off going and buying the original Ally X when it drops down to like $500. You'll be saving a hell of a lot more money. But it's crazy. Like, they didn't even secure that. But these prices here are atrocious, and Xbox should be ashamed of themselves. This is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. There is no two ways about this. This is shameful. And anyone trying to defend this, anyone, shame on you. Shame on you. Anyway, that's the video. Like I said, I did have a nice video about what is an Xbox, and I wanted to release that today because I think it's really important that Microsoft gets in front of this and explains what an Xbox is now, because it's no longer the console, it's just the brand. And how that brand differs depending on what you're buying is key here. They're no difference to now, say, the ROG, right? It's essentially the same thing. The Republic of Gamers is just a symbol of their gaming division, and essentially Xbox is that now. And so, getting in front of this with a campaign called "What is an Xbox" would be really cool, and that was what my video was going to be talking about. If you still want to see that video, leave a comment below with hashtag "What is an Xbox," and I'll have that released. But as of right now, this is terrible, terrible, terrible news. I think they should just throw the Xboxes away at this point. That's just my opinion. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one.